Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Alan from Barefoot Law. As part of the Independence Law series, we're going to be talking about the Roads Act. Now, to get underway, it's important to understand what a road is. So a road is any open way that is accessible for you to use as a place to move on if you're a vehicle, which I know you're not, but if you're driving a vehicle, and this road is governed by this particular law. Now, in that old law, the Roads Act, to qualify as a road, it needed to be a public way that could be used by vehicles, one. Two, that was either maintained by the government, which is the central government, as we know, or by the local government. Now, the local government can be an urban council, can be a district council. Now, if your road was managed by one of these two, that qualified as a road. Now, this particular law did not last really long. It's a bit long, but it wasn't that old. It was about 53 years old. Now, after a while, it was replaced by a new law that is, strangely enough, called the Roads Act as well. So what changed is what was in that law, but the name didn't really change. So the other one was the Roads Act. This became the Roads Act. What changed was the Roads Act 2019, but the name stayed relatively the same. Now, when this law changed, a lot of things changed with it. And over the years that changes have been made to that particular law to bring it to what we now know as the Roads Act 2019. First, we had the old law, which was the Roads Act, but it was not enough to deal with everything that was dealing with roads. Because first of all, you and I do not move on the public roads that cars use all the time. There is small pathways that we also use. Imagine you need to get from here to your neighbor's home. Well, it's right over there. I mean, you will not find a way to make a road that goes there by driving. It could be a small path, what we call pathways. Now, another law came into place to support that old law. It was called the Access to Roads Act. It made sure that you as a private citizen had what we call a right of way to pass through a road. Now imagine that we all build houses, one here, one there, and one there. Now, if the first person who builds decides he does not want people passing near his land and puts a fence, what will happen? Everyone will have zero access to their home. So the Access to Roads Act was to the effect that, well, I have only this space to use to get to my house. So this law said that if this is the road that's available for me to get to my house, I have what we call a right of way to get to my home. Now, over time, changes came. Some bits changed in these two laws, and we got the new law, which is the Roads Act 2019, and it consolidated a lot of these things. Among some of the changes, it established an actual roads authority as well. We've had, let's say, KCC dealing with particular roads, or the roads being dealt by the Ministry of Works and all that. Now, we had an actual roads authority. We had UNRA, we had even mini authorities or small bodies that they could assign work to say, you're in charge of this, you're in charge of that. They made so many changes about what a road reserve is. You know, by the way, did you know that a road reserve is 50 from the middle of the road? 50 feet from the middle of the road to the side of the road is a road reserve. So it clarified what a road reserve was, who are supposed to maintain which roads, where you're supposed to leave way so that a person who comes from their home can join the main road, who is supposed to repair all these roads. Are you allowed to let mud or rubbish get into the road? It talked about all these things. Well, if you want to know more about this, feel free to reach out to us on any of our platforms. If you also have any other questions, do the same. Thank you for watching.